So this is a story you may have been hearing about in the news, and perhaps you're having a similar reaction to what we've been having, which is like, how does this happen? So dozens of protesters yesterday were outside the courthouse in Longueuil. They are frustrated and infuriated, actually, by the time it is taking for a man to face justice. This man is accused of killing his wife and 2 kids in a triple homicide. Without getting into the details of it, it is a grisly and very upsetting case, and it's taking too long for justice to happen here. Maria PAPADAKIS is a community worker with the Comme Femme Women's Center on the South Shore, and she's been very outspoken about this, thankfully so, and she joins us now. Thanks for your time today, Maria.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me.
So why the delays? How do we find ourselves in this situation?
Oh, my goodness. Madame Gertin has been outstanding in addressing her wherever her voice can be heard, even to the minister, Jolin Barrette.
So I just want to interrupt for a quick second. Let's make clear who she is. She is the mother of the woman who was killed. She's the grandmother of the 2 children.
Cynthia's mom and the grandmom to the 2 little kids. So she's been very active. Even for yesterday, she did a fundraiser. Can you imagine? A fundraiser to rent a school bus to come over with 40 people to support. She's been talking all over the place, and directly even with the minister, Jolin Barrette, to say what's going on here with the judges. Like you promised 14 judges, the hiring of 14 judges, nothing is done. And the time is passing, and already you have to deal with the tragic death of your child and your grandkids, and then you have to deal with the delays. The preliminary hearing is slated only for January of next year, and the courthouse proceedings may only start in 2025. And then at the end of that, you're worried about, because there's the arrêt Jordan, which allows the what they call the presumed accused to ask for his liberation, because so much time has passed since he's been in jail and there's been no court proceedings. So all this is all like tagged in one into the other.
So I want to go back for people who don't understand, although I'm sure you've heard the term Jordan ruling before.
Yeah.
In the event that this does not get to the court system before a certain date, would he walk free?
Yes. Actually, there's already been a murderer who was released. I don't have his name right now, in 2016 or 2017 in Montreal, because the delays are, depending if you're in provincial court, is 18 months, already all the way to 30 months. So yes, he was released, and that is I can't even imagine. The stress. Not only the stress, but the trauma that you're dealing with. The trauma never finishes. You're always in your grief, and then you have to worry about l'arrêt Jordan, which is going to liberate maybe a person who's going to do something else. And what about our safety? What about the public safety? What about all the victims' safety and rights? So the accused has rights, but what does the victim have? Because we cannot say that she's presumed a victim and that she was murdered, because she was murdered and she's not here no longer to advocate in that sense. So who advocates in that time to advocate for things to move and for judges to be coming and for courtrooms to be available? So yesterday, part of the conversation was, well, if there's no judges and time is moving on and time is passing and nobody seems to be in a rush to be doing anything, then there should be a moratorium then on l'arrêt Jordan. Mm-hmm. So that should stop too. Time should stop piling up so that everybody can get their act together. But I believe now that from yesterday, Madame Gertin is ready to move on to Prime Minister Trudeau to get some action going, and because she's been all over the place advocating this, but still there's been nothing happening.
Okay, that was going to be my next question. So she's going to every end possible, like you said, even holding a fundraiser to get people on the bus there to protest, and there's been no reaction?
There's been no reaction. There's been promises, and the promises are coming under the guise of, oh, we're sorry. Well, I'm sorry, but you say I'm sorry when you step on somebody's foot. You don't say I'm sorry because there are no judges and your daughter's been murdered a year ago. On Sunday, it was a year ago that she was murdered with her 2 young children.
And how do you get any sense of closure? I mean, again, this, like you said, this poor woman is fighting for justice. And I understand the intention of the Jordan ruling. I understand the idea here is to not delay justice, right?
Right. Right.
But it ends up protecting the people who are accused.
Yes, that's right. And it's clearly stated that you have to say presumed accused. Well, the facts here are the facts. So Cynthia was murdered, her 2 young children were murdered, so that there's nothing presumed about that. But yet the accused is presumed innocent, and on top of that, because time is passing, because there are no judges, well, he may go free or she may go free. Where's the sense in that at all? That's an excellent question. And how do you bring closure? Well, there's no closure at this time, and I think this is where I'll presume to speak for Madame Gertin, is where she's getting her energy for justice here. Come on, people, let's do something. Let's protest. Let's be out there. Let's write. Let's manifest something, but something has to give here.
Do you know, because this is, of course, federal ruling. This is not a provincial ruling, right? The Jordan ruling is federal.
Yes.
Have there been any cases, to your knowledge, that have, in fact, because of these sorts of incidents, been sort of, kind of waived? In other words, time went by, but then they said that doesn't mean, in this case, an alleged murderer is going to go free.
I believe there was one exception, and I don't presume to have the correct information, but I think there is an exception in the Jordan ruling. For example, if somebody has an illness or a terminal, they'll take that into consideration in terms of, if that's the question that you're asking me. They'll take it into the consideration time-wise, but I haven't seen any other exceptions that time will stop, and this principle or this arrêt will not
change,
be applied.
right? And all this is happening, and we've noted this before, because simply the system here, the court system, is in a mess.
Bogged down, yeah.
Right?
Oh my goodness, the justice system, the health system, the education system, and we can go on and on here.
Yeah.
I mean, it took them all summer not even to do anything about the teachers. The teachers go back, and then they realize, there's not enough teachers. Well, you had all summer to work on this. It's the same thing with the justice system. Like, how many more promises are you going? That's, to make that are going to fall through. And in the meantime, time is passing here. Time is of critical for everything. I mean, it's another trauma for the family, right? So it's trauma over trauma.
Maria, when you say that Sylvie Gertin now has her eye on the Prime Minister's office,
yes.
What is her intention to protest there as well?
Why not? Yes. She's going everywhere. And as long as she'll be doing and asking and wanting assistance, well, we're going to be like a village. We're hoping to be like a village around her for any victim. It's for all victims. She's not just doing this for Cynthia. Mm-hmm. It's very clear. It's for all victims. Where's it? How do you guarantee our safety and our welfare? And even for the population wide. I mean, if these people are presumed accused and then they're released because time passes, well, these people are back on the road. So, even if they were the few that maybe, and I say maybe with a big M, have not committed whatever they're accused of, but then there's those that have been and have done. And that's what's going to happen. So everybody's safety is on the line here, I feel.
Listen, it's an awful situation in so many different ways. The fact that, as they say, justice delayed is justice denied. But of course, here it seems to be in reverse. So you would hope that there can be some closure for the family. And maybe, just maybe, there can be an exception made here, because this is as grievous a case as one can imagine. So, Maria, I thank you for explaining this to our audience and appreciate what you're doing, and wish you and, of course, everyone involved in this all the best, and hope there is some resolution.
Please, thank you for airing this interview. Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Maria.
Maria PAPADAKIS, community co-worker, and this is not the woman affected, but she's speaking for her, basically, and what she's trying to do.
And just to be clear, that's because the woman, the grandmother here, Sylvie Gertin, does not speak English, and so Maria has been speaking up on her behalf.
Doing a pretty nice job, I think, too, as well.